Thank you to Michael McCaul for introducing this legislation. It's been great working with Congressman Kustoff and Congressman Mast and the House Republican leadership. I really wish this wasn't necessary, but it is. There is strong bipartisan support for this bill. If we walked out of this room and went to the floor of the House of Representatives and had a vote right now, it passes. It gets sent to the president's desk and it's signed. While we're gathered here right now, there are students on college campuses across America with stories to tell you about how they have been victims of blatant anti-Semitism in the name of BDS. They will tell you personal stories about their grades being negatively impacted because they are against BDS. They will tell you stories about a professor denying an opportunity to study abroad because they wanted to study abroad in Israel. They'll tell you about professors at their school, not one, but multiple, that will put a map of Israel up on the board, but where it's supposed to say Israel, it says Palestine. The BDS movement's founder was blatantly anti-Semitic. We have to call this out for exactly what it is. And we can't be empowering or elevating anti-Israel hate, anti-Semitism, BDS in this chamber. We should be identifying it and crushing it with bipartisan support. This discharge petition should not be necessary, but it is. We should not have to be talking about a member of Congress who time after time after time is making anti-Semitic remarks that people all across our country take great offense to and have never seen before in the halls of Congress. We should not have to be talking about an interview from last Friday where a question gets asked, and what got lost in that entire back and forth was the question that was asked of Congresswoman Tlaib is why she supports a one-state solution that effectively removes Jews from power in their own country in Israel. It was her answer to that question, where she says that the thinking about the Holocaust gives her a calming effect because of the safe haven that Palestinians provided to Jews, which is the opposite of factually accurate. We should not have members of Congress associating themselves with Tamika Mallory and Linda Sarsour and Louis Farrakhan. We should not have an imam giving an opening prayer before the chamber who, by the way, a simple Google search in the vetting would have shown you was an imam that not only supports BDS, but has compared Israel to the Nazis, has called Israel a terrorist regime, has called for a third Palestinian intifada, has posted in support of the Muslim Brotherhood, and a whole lot more. If you want to bring an imam to give an opening prayer, how about you find an imam who doesn't call Israel Nazis? It's a simple, basic request. We shouldn't be having this conversation day after day after day, but we are in 2019. And we cannot fail our country. What happens if we're not up here fighting? What happens if we are silent? If we went with the Nancy Pelosi play call, which is they're new members, they're learning, they don't mean what they say, they're choosing the wrong words. Let's say we just went along with it. We just leave here right now. So you know what? No discharge petition. Let's just go with Nancy Pelosi's play call. Well, I'll tell you what. These people who are promoting all this anti-Semitism every day double down and triple down. They're looking to recruit more in their ranks. They are bullying their fellow Democrats who know better and want to do something about it. You see that story, the 20,000 word story in The Intercept that Rashida Tlaib worked against Josh Gottheimer, accusing him of bullying her? You can't even sit down for a conversation with these representatives and talk to them because what's going to happen is that they'll come to you and no matter what we say, in the best of good faith efforts, they will accuse us of all sorts of things that are indefensible unless they're recorded by video. So I'll tell you what, I'm proud to stand here with these representatives. And I would be proud to stand with every single Democrat in the House of Representatives with the courage, instead of being led by the radical left, instead they choose to put up a fight for what's right and choose to lead the radical left. It's a challenge for them, and I'll tell you what, I stand with them 100% if they're willing to sign Brian Mast's discharge petition. So if you're watching at home, think of those college students. Think of the Israelis who are targeted by Palestinian terrorists all the time. Think about the policy that the Palestinians financially reward terrorism. and do what's right. Stand with us, and together we can fight back BDS, we can fight back anti-Israel hate, and we can fight back anti-Semitism in the halls of Congress, college campuses, and all over American politics.